Hello, thanks for joining me, Nancy with North Star Ministry. Another note I wanted to make real quick because the Lord wants me to give my testimony more and more, and in the spirit of giving my testimony, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Almighty God for everything that He has done. I mean, the Lord has truly gone before me in all of my battles, gone before me, alongside me, behind me. I mean, He has really supported me every which way, up and down, back and forth, covering every angle of my life, of my spiritual walk, of wherever I went, of wherever I went, and He's protected me. He's dispatched guardian angels to keep watch over me at all times. I'm just grateful to God for that. I just want to give Him all praise, honor, and glory. It's not an easy thing going through narcissistic abuse, but with me in my case, I have to tell you, because God does want me to highlight what I've been through. And, I don't want to bore everybody with this. Are you sure, Lord? You want me to go into all this? I mean, because it's such a long story, and I've talked about it before, but I will probably look for some speaking engagements, which allow me to speak freely and share this situation, and wherever I go, because that's what He wants me to do. So, okay. But yeah, it was a whole lot of narcissists, these Masons, that launched an attack on me and my kids for a series of years. I mean, this went on for years on a regular daily basis. But I'm here to say, because I don't want to dredge up all the old information. Yes, they put monitoring devices and everything, watched me everywhere I went. Yes, they had handlers and betrayers within the community, within my friends group and circle, and people that were close to me. Yes, and within the family even. Yes, they betrayed. There were major betrayals. There were major, heartbreaks and heartaches and things like that. But, even so, after all of it, I mean, it was a group of them, and they did energy weapons and things like that on me and my kids. I mean, that is not funny. When you are playing God in a person's life and you don't stay in your own lane, you go in someone else's lane and you try to mess up their life, their destiny, their purpose, their mission, and their mantle, and it's all out of sheer jealousy. This is a personality trait disorder that is so rampant in our day. This narcissistic personality, where people never work on themselves, and then therefore they in a whole lot of ways they fester with all these lingering childhood issues. And instead of overcoming them, they take these trauma bonds and they go out and somehow compensate for it. They're taught, when they're recruited into these secret societies, how they can, to alleviate that pain, they can go and give it to someone else and transfer the energy, so that they can therefore take all of their shame and guilt, all of their bad decisions and choices, all of their trauma bonds, their childhood issues, their mommy issues, their, sexual orientation issues, whatever it is they're going through. They can go transfer it to someone else. Transfer all their pain, all their shame, all their guilt, all of their negative, bad, toxic energy to someone else, an individual person who's innocent, who has none of these issues at all, ever. I was a very happy child from the time I grew up. From all my life, I've always been very, very happy, and had a level of peace. And we didn't have much growing up, but that's the fun of it, because that's when you can really be creative and you come up with your own toys, your own ways of entertaining and, just playing. And so I had a very, very happy childhood, but I was surrounded by Masons and didn't even know it. All the kids on the block were going to these rainbow meetings. I thought, what is that? I never, what is that? They're all wearing long formals and going off to the meetings, and the dads were all part of a lodge, and I didn't realize it. I never connected the dots. I didn't realize how they were all Masons. I was surrounded by Masons my whole life, and I guess they have a lot in communities. It's rampant. In every community across the U.S., there are Masons, and they act as handlers. They actually target individuals. They keep an eye on them. They spy. They take notes. They keep a log. They track your every move. They put listening device, and that was my life. They were listening and honing in on my entire life, like the Truman Show. Okay, so they did that to me, yes. But I want to tell you, that is not the end of the world, because you can overcome all of this. You can look at everything that happens to you in your whole life one of two ways. You can either be in a pit of despair for the rest of eternity, which is not me. I choose to be like the Rocky Balboa. I'm going to get back up and keep plugging along. I'm going to use whatever it is they aim at me, whatever mudslinging they do, whatever name calling, whatever slandering, whatever malicious lies. I'm going to use all of that for my defense. I'm going to use it. It's going to be a part of what makes me even stronger. Okay, so that's how I chose to tackle this, because I certainly do not sit down in a fight. Okay, in a fight, I'm the last person that's going to lie down and let anybody do anything. They may think they are. I may allow them to believe that, and that's my prerogative altogether. I choose to do it that way. So while they're looking at me, I'm looking at them, and I'm studying their every move. And that is how it is. So that is how you can overcome. There's always one of two ways. You can combat all this onslaught, this barrage of senseless, haphazard, reckless, thoughtless, cruel, narcissistic abuse. Okay? Because they hate being ignored. And they hate being, they hate not pushing your buttons and not poking they're always poking the bear, right? But it's up to you how you react. And you always have that power. And just always know and realize and be aware and acknowledge the fact that you are powerful in the situation. And you don't allow anybody to define you. You know who you are. Not once will I ever allow a negative self-thought, self-talk to myself. Never. Not once ever would I ever think of myself as a less than. Not ever. Okay? That could never happen. I have too much self-love and self-respect. I self-nurture all the time. And I'm going to tell you, that is a very important thing to do. But when you have faith in Almighty God, oh yeah, He's there right by your side. You are never alone. You're never alone. You just go deeper and higher. And that's how you treat the situation. You go deeper and you go higher. All right? And then you become stronger to withstand anything, because you are hidden in under the shadow of His wings, which is He is the most powerful power on the planet, so you're on good ground if you build your life upon the rock. And what I mean by that, not just your foundation, but your growth throughout your whole life. If you take God's promises and you make them yours, you build your house upon all of those promises and you never let go, you will find out through all of your adversities in life, you're going to come out very strong. You're going to come out able to tackle anything that comes upon you. Okay? So that's an important thing. But I give all credit, full credit. All my strength comes from Almighty God. All of my hope, all of my faith, all of my trust, all of my belief, everything comes from Him. He's the center of all my thoughts. He's the only voice I like to listen to. And, do I do it perfectly? No, none of us are perfect. We all fall short. But you know what? We can continue to press on. Get up and keep going. Get up and keep going. And He will never leave you nor forsake you. So I give Him all complete credit. I am not about accolades. I'm not about, as I've said before, I'm kind of a hermit type of a person, but the Lord has wanted me to speak out more. And so, okay, in obedience, I put it out there. He wants me to share my story. So I'll be looking for different ways to share my story, different platforms and avenues and outlets where I can share my story of faith. But I have strong, unwavering, and unshakable faith in the Most High God because I know Him. I and the Father are one. When you can say that you know Him that well because you spend time with Him every day. Sometimes, like the last couple of days, I drew near to Him because, especially probably more because my, person that I love the most that's in the hospital. But yes, it's good to have a quiet time, a sacred space set aside where you can really talk to Him about everything. But my privacy has been so violated by these people that just continued to monitor my every move. But, and it's all at this man who orchestrated everything. He just doesn't stop. But that's one of the things about the narcissistic problem is that they never stop. They never stop. At some point, they're just overtaken by demonic entities, and they can't stop because they're taken over and they're not free. You know, anybody that practices those Luciferian things, they're not free. They're in total bondage. It's like that song by the Eagles, Hotel California. You can check out any time you like, but you can't ever leave. Okay, it's one of the lines there. But it's talking about, you know, the whole Hollywood thing. They're in bondage. You know, they sign their souls over, you know, to Lucifer. They swear allegiance. And well, these are energy vampires. They're soulless beings. So they're constantly on the prowl, looking who they can target and recruit. Whose energy can they harvest? See, because at some point, they're completely drained. And they've got to, they need a quick fix. That's why you have all these child abductions. They're always looking for people that they can suck their energy dry. These are parasites, okay? They're parasites. And always looking for fresh new supply so that they can live another day. Meanwhile, a lot of people go missing every day. I'm just saying, okay? So, but God wanted me to put it out there. So I do that. I do, you know, what the Lord asked me to do. So I put it out there. And I hope this was helpful for anybody. God is very real. Very real. And I've seen him in my life up close and personal, perform many miracles in my life. So absolutely, no doubt whatsoever in my mind, in my life, the Lord speaks the word and it's done. He comes through all the time. But remember, our treasures are stored up in heaven where the thief does not break in and steal. But there is my ancestral inheritance, and I will get that back. The Lord had let me know these people had tried once again to steal it. There was, they had signed my name and signatures on documents, making it sound like I gave them permission to do this or that. And no, that never happened. So they will be outed. They will be busted, exposed by the light. They will be seen, they will be watched, they will be looked into, they will be interrogated and questioned, they will be investigated, and they will be held accountable for stealing, for identity theft and fraud. Yeah, I'm sorry to say in this digital age, there's so much of that going on. And as these people get more and more desperate, because of the changes that are going on right now, you know, the Lord is dismantling a lot of things that are built on foundations that are built on fraud and corruption. All of that is going by the wayside because that time is up in the biblical timeline of history. It's time for God to have a people for himself, and it's the kingdom. Everything shifts from the kingdom of darkness to the kingdom of light where we are today. So, but it's doesn't happen like so quickly. There's many things that take place, many things that are involved in this transition, but we're all being transformed and changed individually as well so that we can ascend into this new Jerusalem that's above, that's overlaying the earth at this time, because the 3D existence will be going away, you know, by the means of all these natural disasters that God is doing, that he brings about. All the storms. We've entered into the time of storms, time of Jacob's trouble. It's a time of, what can I say, shifts that are going on. It's a time of, like a woman that in travail with birth pangs and contractions. Okay, that's how it will be. So I just wanted to put that out there. But I hope this is helpful for anybody. You know, stay positive, stay strong, be in the faith, and that's what I wanted to say. Okay, God bless. Bye.